Okay. I'm sharing my screen. Can you hear me clearly now? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now,
Yes.
I'm Karanskar DM, Associate Professor of Zoology, working in this department for last 20 years. And I've worked in the different colleges of Raya Shikshan Sanstha for 30 years. I shall be dealing with you for this subject fisheries. I hope that the syllabus has been discussed with you. Is it or not? Hello? 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 Is the syllabus,
Ha, sir.
is the syllabus discussed with you or not? Please let me know.
नाही अजून केलेलं सर.
Okay, I think this is on the this is
नो.
I'm first time I'm dealing with this subject or anybody else. Okay, I
Yes.
will just we will go through the syllabus and I will begin with the portion which is allotted to me. Okay. So now see this is the structure of your syllabus. Now we are beginning with this semester 5. In this semester 5, these are the compulsory papers: fisheries, biology second, and aquaculture management. The code is BZFT 501. Second paper is fish physiology second. Because why the name second is given here, because part of this you have already studied in your BSc part 2. This is your paper second, BZFT 502, and this is the common paper. Biotechnics and biostatistics is the paper which is also you have. I hope that you have attended the lectures of this in the zoology lecture. Now, elective papers are there. Hello? Elective papers are there. Three elective papers
हा.
are there. First is molecular cell biology and animal biotechnology. Second is fishery economics, fish marketing, fishery extension, cooperative financing in fishery disaster management, and fish products and byproducts technology. These are the elective papers. Of these elective papers, you have to choose one of the papers, and generally students prefer to deal with this paper A, molecular cell biology and animal biotechnology. The code of this paper as far as the fisheries syllabus is concerned, it is BZFT 503. Same is the paper which is included in the compulsory paper as in the syllabus of zoology, and the lectures has of this has been already begin with. So you might have attended the lectures of this paper in the zoology section, isn't it? Bhatia madam and Yogita madam is dealing with this paper. Is it clear?
हा.
Okay. You do you attend this paper?
हा. ओके.
Okay. Reply to me yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, keep in touch with me so that I can come to know whether you are listening to me or not. And this is the next is the applied skill. You can't
Sir,
hear
I
my
can't hear
voice,
your voice clearly.
but I can hear your voice clearly. Okay.
I can hear but
Now,
not clearly.
okay. Let's. I, 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 will- I,
I think I have some
I
problems.
will join with the microphone. Okay. Now, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Now, applied zoology, this is a paper, skill-based paper, and this is what we are talking about the semester 5. We'll be dealing with the semester 6 later on. We'll concentrate on this semester itself, and we'll be dealing with. So this is your paper 5 of your semester 5. Paper is 501. This is the code of your paper. And fishery biology and aquaculture management is the title of the paper. In this paper, this first unit, this is the first unit, method in gut content and analysis. This entire unit will be taught to you as per as the syllabus distribution is concerned. This will be taught to you by Dr. Janke madam. This is the unit second. In this unit, in this first unit, you will be dealing with, she will be dealing with the methods in gut content analysis, how what is the gut content, how it is analyzed, what type of food is eaten by the fish, and accordingly, there are different methods of gut content analysis, and she will teach you the different methods. Fish nutrition, principles of fish nutrition terminologies. Nutrition means what type of proteins. Then nutritional biochemistry, nutritional requirement of the cultural species. Different species needs, or different species need different food form, and different life stages of fishes also require different types of food. So that will be dealt under the nutritional requirement. Nutritional biochemistry, where the classification, nutrient quality, and evaluation of protein, lipids, and carbohydrates. Classification proteins, how they are classified, how their functional group changes, what are different types of protein, primary, secondary, tertiary proteins, different types of lipids uh, in the form of fatty acids and glycerols, omega fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids, in which is very much abundantly present in the muscles of this or body of the fish, which is very much important, which has a very deep medicinal value. Role of nutrients, amino acids, and fatty acids that will be dealt. Second unit is a type study. And this type study, that is prawn, will be as far as this distribution is concerned, present distribution is concerned. This will be taught to you by Dr. Rajni Amravkar, in which entire prawn you are going to study in details, right from systematic positions, habits, habitat, external morphology, and so on, different systems you are going to study. Prawn culture, stocking, and how the culture of prawn is carried out, that will be dealt. This is unit number 3, which I am going to engage you. And actually, we are going to begin with this unit today. But before going to in details with this unit, let's discuss first of all on the entire syllabus of your semester 5, and then we'll switch on towards the actual presentation of this today's type study, that is biology. Again, in this, we are going to study systematic evolution, habitats, and different types of systems that we are going to study. We are also going to study one of the more, that is oyster, its culture, its edible species, which are consumed by the people, and also which are commercially. This is a pearl oyster, which is commercially cultivated for the production of the pearl. How its importance and its economics that we are going to deal with. Unit number 4 is integrated fish farming and its economics. This is the unit Katte madam is going to deal with. Integrated fish farming means, along with fish farming, what are the different uh, species of fish, different methods which are applicable which are used along with the fishing practice, that is rice cum fish culture. These rice fields are actually, as they are having abundant of water during throughout the season, and which is very much important for or which plays a role in the culture of the fish. And methods are there, culture, different types of cultural species in the rice field, and then these are two main methods, rotational and simultaneous culture of this uh, rice cum fish culture. Fish farming with livestock means fish farming with poultry birds, fish farming with pig and cattle. This is along with this cattle, along with this pig, along with this pig, how this livestock is simultaneously cultivated, or what is the advantage of carrying out the fish culture practices along with the livestock, that we are going to study. Sewage fed fishery, the sewage water which is flowing, and the right use of this sewage is made for the culture of the fish, and this is also very important. Certain species are there which can survive very well in the sewage water also, that are that we are going to study in this topic, subtopic. Culture of air breathing fishes. Now air breathing fishes, now these are the fishes which can engulf the air, and last year you might have studied the fish with different types of fishes having accessory respiratory organs, isn't it? You have studied this. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Ah. You have studied different types of species of fish which are having
Yes.
accessory respiratory organs, and that we are going to study how these fishes having accessory respiratory organs and they breathe air, and that how they are cultured. Cold water fisheries, that is Masir, this is actually practiced in the hilly areas where the temperature is very low, and special Masir fish or fish which are well adapted for the low temperature are taken into consideration for culture of this fish. So cold water fisheries in this. Fish farm management, some of the part of this fish farm management has been already introduced to you in your basic part 2 fisheries, but the remaining part that we are going to study under this subtopic. Broodstock and hatchery management, nursery management, rearing and stocking. All these name of these this nursery, hatchery, rearing, stocking. These are the different and broods. These are the different types of ponds which are constructed in the on the fish farm, and how they are managed, that we are going to study. Okay. Then this is your papers sixth compulsory paper is there. 502 is the its code, fish physiology, fish breeding, fish seed production and transportation. The unit number one, study of endocrine glands, different endocrine glands, that is mainly this anatomy, as well as we are going to study its histology in unit number two. It's pituitary gland, it's mentioned role, histology, role of the hormones, their regulation with influences. We are going to study under this unit 2. Ecological and hormonal influence on maturation of gonads and spawning. As the title of the fish, this paper is there, fish breeding, fish seed production and transportation. So this is the B part is that which is dealing, which is concerned with this title, because where you are going to study how the hormones and the ecological factors, they play important role in the maturation of gonads and make the uh, fish to spawn. In unit number 3, we are going to study breeding in the Indian major carps. And you know the meaning of this Indian major carps. What do you understand by this word Indian major carps? Hello? Hello, Nikita? Nikita,
हेलो.
can you hear me?
हाँ सर बोला की.
हाँ. My question is breeding in
हाँ.
Indian major carp. So what do you understand by these words Indian major carps?
मृग
Yes, you know it. You know it. You know it. But just try to answer.
मृगल कटला.
Very good. And one is missing Rohu, Katla and Brigal. Okay?
I think
Rohu, Katla and Brigal.
मृगल.
These are the Indian major carps, and their
हाँ.
subspecies are also there, which are brought into practice. So, how this breeding is done in the natural condition, as well as this induced breeding that we are going to study in this topic. Breeding of ornamental fishes. Ornamental fish. That is aquarium fishes that we have studied different types of aquarium fish last year also. How their breeding is carried out. Some of them are have egg-laying, some of them are they directly give birth to the young ones that we are going to study under this unit. The unit number 4 deals with the fish seed resources and their transportation. Fish seed from the natural habitats from river, how the fish seed is collected from the riverine system by using hapas, and different hatcheries are there which are established along the banks of the river, major riverine system, how they play a role, how they stock the fish seed, and how they are further transported to the inland water bodies, that is where actually the fish farmer they practice the fish culture. Fertilization of eggs by
Unit
stripping,
number
this is one of the methods of fertilization. Then transport of fish seed from one place to another, how the mechanical transportation is there. Transportation is done with the help of these, which are carried by the man or human beings on their head, where the distance is very uh, less. But if you transport the fish seed for a long distance, then mechanized vehicles are also constructed in such a way that they can hold the fish very well for the long time, for the distant journey. Transport of fingerlings and broods fishes that we are going to study this. Fish resources, nutritional value of feed ingredients and life feed, importance of natural food and nutrient requirements of fish, feed additives, attractants, growth stimulants, probiotics, and binders. This is a new part of the nutrition of fish. How the fish are attracted towards which additives are used so that which can attract the fish and which accelerate the growth or growth enhancing additives are there which are used here that we are going to study this. So this is your paper. Now, which I have earlier mentioned that this is your elective paper, which is already taught to you during your uh, zoology lecture. And this is another elective paper, and this is the paper C. This is a new paper. This is also a third elective paper, and compulsory paper is that I'm not going to go in details because the paper A is chosen as your elective paper, and this is the compulsory paper which I have already mentioned, like biotechnics and biostatistics, and the lectures also of this based on these papers will be soon will be started, so that you will be beginning or they have been already started. Hello, are there any lectures conducted on this biotechnics and biostatistics? Hello.
sir, I have no idea.
Uh, I hope
हाँ.
that you attend the lectures of zoology also, no?
Yes, I have attended, but I have missed some lecture.
Okay, okay. But be in touch with your classmates and get the updates. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And the practical part is there that you are going to deal with. No. In these practicals, we are going to study this different. We are going to dissect prawn, bivalve, larval stages, and uh, practicals based on each and every unit. Okay. Now today, I'm going to begin with. Okay, I shall be sharing with you my presentation of. We are going to begin with this. Okay. Now, actually, we are going to begin with the syllabus as such. So, as I have already mentioned, that I shall be dealing with this paper 5, 501, Fishery Biology Second and Aquaculture. This is the title of the paper, and I shall be dealing with unit number 3, that is external morphology of means external morphology of Unio or bivalve. Now, let me tell you first of all that how I have framed my talk, how I'm going to begin with this talk, and these are the points which I have included to cover up this point, first part of this unit. So, just we will have a look towards the synapses. We are going to deal with the introduction, systematic position. We are going to study then habit and habitats, habitat and habits of the animal, external morphology, which is actually concerned with the title. Now here, as we are studying the bivalve, there how it appears, the shell appears externally as well as internally, and when it is open, what are the structures which are observed in the internal part that we are going to study or cover in this today's lecture. So first of all, first point we are going to begin with is the introduction. Ah, Now, bivalve, the word itself tells you the meaning. Bivalve. Commonly, this unio is commonly called as bivalve. It's a common freshwater mussel found buried in mud of Indian lakes and rivers. In some ponds, mussels or bivalve, freshwater bivalve. Why especially this word is used? Freshwater. There are marine water bivalves are also there. I can quote you the example. Mytilus is a marine water example, uh, which is attached to the rocks and which is also a bivalve. So this is freshwater mussel and Mytilus is the marine water mussel. So this is the difference. But bivalve is the common word which is used here where two valves are present. It is edible. Now, local fishermen or local people generally they are having they are habituated or they generally prefer to consume this freshwater mussel bivalve. It acts as a scavenger. Scavenger. The word scavenger means the uh, organism which plays role in cleaning the water. So it cleans the water. Uh, the vultures are birds. They also play a role of scavenger. What role they play? They play the role they eat. They feed on the dead bodies of them. They make it clear, or they get rid of the dead animals which are consumed by the vultures. So they play a role of scavenger. And what is the actual commercial use of the shell? Because the shell which is present, ज्याला आपण शिंपला म्हणतो मराठीमध्ये, आणि त्या शिंपलेचे बरेच उपयोग असतात. Some of the examples are there. They are used in the manufacture of buttons. They are used as the decorative pieces in chips, flooring, or it is used the as the shells are made up of calcium carbonate. These are very much used. They are crushed properly and used,
Industrial use.
yeah, in the poultry feed, because in the poultry feed, these layers especially, they are fed with this uh, powder of the shell, which is mixed with the food poultry feed, and they are fed to these layers, the egg-laying birds, so that there should not be a deficiency of calcium to these birds. Okay. Now, the next point is systematic position. Now, what do we understand by the systematic position? The systematic position is where the actual animal lies in the animal kingdom that we are going to study. Now, we are going to study the systematic position under these different headings, that is unit, name of unit, and the reasons. As we are dealing with the bivalve, and you are quite aware of the classification of invertebrates, isn't it? You know the classification of invertebrates. The very first point here is unit phylum is there, and then it belongs to phylum mollusca. And the very reason for this phylum mollusca is that all the soft-bodied animals, they are classified under this phylum mollusca. And these molluscans, in these molluscans, there are different types of mollusks, with shell or without shell. The mollusk with shell that we are going to deal with. But can you tell me the example of the mollusk which is without shell? Yes, can you hear me? Can you are
Without
you able to tell me the meaning
shell.
of the mollusk which
Yes, sir.
is without shell? Yes, yes. I'll be very happy to hear from you the uh, one of the examples of the mollusk which is without shell. Maybe
Sir,
it
can
may
I
be a,
tell you later?
okay, no problem. But we are very much quite
I'm
familiar
not.
as far as marine mollusks are concerned. You know the name, but it is not clicking for you. This is the mollusk which is terrestrial, and generally we often see this mollusk on land during this season. The body of this mollusk is flattened. I have given you the hint so that now it will be. I'm taking you very close to the answer, and till now I hope that it should click you. Have you seen the slug?
सर मला मराठीमध्ये माहिती आहे.
सांग ना मग मराठीत सांग, नो प्रॉब्लेम.
स्लग.
स्लग येस. हा
गोगल
पण
गाय.
चपटी गोगलगाय असते की नाही, चपटी गोगलगाय शंख नसलेली
हा
स्लग ज्याला आपण म्हणतो, आणि पावसाळ्यातच
हा.
दिसते, मागे पट्टा सोडते. And can you give the
हा.
example of the mollusk which is marine, which is having
मरीन.
8 arms? Yes.
ऑयस्टर.
Oyster is having shell.
ऑयस्टर विदाउट एनी.
I have given you the big hint.
ऑयस्टर.
No.
I know, but sir, I can't tell you the correct name.
No,
Octopus.
no.
Yes,
You,
octopus.
you are a bit confused with the beginning of the letter. Yes, the animal which I am expecting from you, the name of that animal starts with letter O.
Oyster.
No, it is octopus, isn't it? That's why I have given you the hint that the
Question.
animal is having 8 arms. Anyway, this is the example which is the
Eight
mollusks.
arms.
which are which do not have the shell, but they are mollusks. Now, there are some of the mollusks in which, even though the shell is present, this shell is external or internal, and the shell.
Octopus,
Now, I am asking you
sir.
that. Yes.
Octopus.
Yes, octopus is the example of the mollusk which is not having shell. Okay, now we have finished the discussion on the mollusks which are not having shell. Now we are dealing with the mollusks
Starfish.
which are having shell. Yes, oyster is there, which is having shell, but this some of the mollusks are there which are having shell out of the body, or their body is covered with the shell, and some of the mollusks are there, the shell is present internally in the body. Can you tell me the example of the mollusk which is having the shell inside the body?
Starfish.
Starfish is not mollusk, my dear. Starfish is echinoderm, no? You have studied this mollusk which I am expecting from you last year. We have studied sepia, isn't it? Sepia बघितलं ना?
Ha.
Sepia is the mollusk which is having internal shell. Okay. Now bivalve is the animal which is having two shells. Bi means two shells, but body is enclosed within the shell. बघा कसं आहे. Bivalve, some of the snails are there which is having shell which is in the twisted shell is there. शंख असतो ना, शंख. होय की नाही? That
Ha.
is single. Single shell is there, but it is twisted, or it is found in whorls. WHORLs, in whorls, clockwise or anti-clockwise, maybe. Okay. So here we are dealing with the bivalve unio, which belongs to phylum Mollusca, where the reason is soft body enclosed in the mantle and enclosed in the shell. Now, this bivalve belongs to class Pelicypoda. Pelicypoda. Now, the reason is claw-like foot and bivalve shell is present. Claw-like foot or claw shear-like foot is present. Now, different types of foots in mollusks. Foots in mollusks, you might have studied the topic as a general topic in your zoology lectures last year. Different types of molluscan foots. And this is the claw-like foot, which often protrudes out of the body when animal is undergoing locomotion. But when this animal is distal, this claw-like foot is withdrawn inside the body. Then it belongs to order Eulamellibranchiata, which is also called as, in some of the books, it is mentioned as Schizodonta is the order. Now, the reason which is mentioned here, we are going to deal with this. You'll come to know the terms. Interlamellar junction between lamellae of each half of W-shaped gills. Now, this is the reason which is very much unique to this order. And what is this interlamellar junction and how it is present between the lamellae of each half of the W-shaped gills? And the gills, see, Eulamellibranchiata. Special gills are there which play a role in the process of respiration, and the gills which are present here, they are arranged bilaterally, and they are arranged in the W-like letter inside the body in the mantle cavity. It belongs to family Unionidae. Two equal size adductor muscles. Now, what are these adductor muscles that we are going to study while dealing with the morphology? Two equal adductor muscles are present. This is the unique feature. In some of the members of this uh, another family is there where these adductor muscles are not equal, but here this uniqueness is that there two muscles are present at both, and one at anterior end and one at posterior end, and these are of equal size. These muscles they play role in the closing and opening of the shell. Then it belongs to genus Lamellidans. Uh, Plate-like gills are present, which are arranged in W shape, and species is marginalis. So this is the systematic position of the bivalve. Now, the next point that we are going to deal with is habitat and habits. First of all, habitat. As I have already mentioned earlier in the introductory part, that it is found in rivers, lakes, ponds, and streams buried in the mud. It usually found buried in the upper layer of sand or the muddy bottom. So even though
Sir, it is fresh
yeah,
water,
yeah, yeah,
no?
it is fresh water, we are dealing with the fresh
Hello?
muscle. And earlier we have mentioned that it is a
I have heard that
freshwater
line.
muscle. Freshwater muscle. We are dealing with the freshwater. When buried, see this is the one of the habits. When buried, the posterior tip of the shell remains exposed to allow entry and exit of water current. Now, how this position is there? What are the structures which have a present role in allowing the water to enter into the body and allowing the water to leave the body that we are going to study by studying with the morphological structure. Habits. Now, where this is it maintains the water current through its mantle cavity by ciliary action. Now this word ciliary action, the cilia, as we have already mentioned that gills are present, lamelliform, lamelli branchiata is the order where they are classified. And this uh, branchiata, the word branchiata deals with the gills, and gills are in the form of lamellae, and each of these lamellae they contains ciliary cells, and the action of these cilia they create the water current, and this water current allows the water to enter into the mantle cavity. It is omnivorous, feeds on microorganisms of both animal and plant origin, and and fine organic particles by filter feeding mechanism. As it consumes the microscopic organisms of plant and animal origin, that is why it is referred as a omnivorous in food habit. Now, again, the word which is used here is the filter feeding mechanism. This filter feeding mechanism is the also uh, mechanism where the gills are playing important role. They filter the water, only the food particles. They are please. They are allowed to enter into the mouth. It slowly creeps म्हणजे फरकटणं with plot share like muscular foot, which I have already mentioned. That this muscular foot is protruded out of the body when the animal is moving forward, leaving a track of the parallel furrow behind. Okay? It's a जरा muscular जरी foot असलं तर it protrudes out of the body, and along with this the movement is done. It is very sluggish, hardly covers the distance of 16 kilometers in year. So in year it is mentioned. So you will imagine, you will come to know how very slow moving organism is there, how this organism is there. Foot is also used for burrowing. Now, in the habitats which we have mentioned, it is found buried in the upper layer of the mud, or in the layer of the soil, or in the mud. So this burrowing foot also helps in the process of burrowing, so that animal wriggles and it moves down into the soil and burrows itself. It usually moves to shallow waters. See now, photo period is playing an important role. It moves to the shallow waters by night and comes up and returns to the deeper waters by the daytime. Sexes are separate. Now, this is very important. Sexes are different, separate, and development includes larval stage that grows in the brood chamber. Again, here gills are playing important role as far as females are concerned. Their uh, gills, they are modified and having their water tubes. These brood chambers are nothing but the enlarged water tubes of the female gills. It, if disturbed, is withdraw the foot and siphons. Siphons are this is the word which is used to allow the entry and exit of the water which are present at the posterior end. So both these structures, which generally they protrude out of the body when animal is moving or when it is active. But when you disturb it, it withdraws this foot as well as the siphon in the body and close the shell tightly. So this is the habits. These are the habits of the uh, uh, so this is how it appears. This is the Bible, how it appears. This is the actual picture of the animal. Now we are going to still deal with the external morphology. First of all, first part is shell external features, and we are going to study this shell, uh, how it appears. Yes. As I have already mentioned, that body is bivalve, is enclosed the hard calcareous shell which forms its exoskeleton. This is the actual diagrammatic view. I have shown you the actual picture of the animal. So this is the shell, how it appears, forms the exoskeleton, which is very much hard. It measures about 10 centimeters from anterior to posterior, 10 centimeters in length and 5 centimeters in width. The shell consists of two equal halves. I have already mentioned by studying with the systematic position, and oval, convex. Convex, do you understand with the meaning convex? When you observe the shell externally,
Yes.
it appears to be convex. बहिर्वक्र ज्याला आपण मराठीत म्हणतो.
Ha.
दोन्ही हाफ असतील ते बाहेरून आपल्याला बाहेरून असं बहिर्वक्र असे दिसतात. They appears to be convex. They are joint at their dorsal margin. The dorsal margin म्हणजे this is the dorsal margin. Here they are connected with the that dorsal margin is called as hinge line, hinge ligament. इथं हे hinge ligament असतं. So how yes, this is another, so that it will be much more clear. Hinge ligament. Now this is the hinge ligament where which plays a role in keeping or holding the two valves of the shell together, and this is called as hinge line, to which the two valves are attached. Now, can you see this emerged structure which is called as umbo, which is a bit globular, and this is the part which grows first during the embryonic condition. It is somewhat raised, which appears to be whitish. I will show you in the previous actual picture of this. Yes. See, this is, yeah. Can you see this umbo? Can you see this?
No.
This is the where I am showing you the arrow. This is the umbo part. This is the
Sir, I
hinge.
can see your screen.
This is the hinge ligament. Instead of showing in the diagram, I am showing you the actual animal how it appears. Okay, umbo. This is the oldest part of the shell, and which is surrounded by the concentric lines. Can you see these lines? Lines of growth. This that ka? Lines of growth. Lines of growth. Okay. By studying these lines of growth, we can detect the age of this. Then foot. This is the anterior side. This is the posterior side. This is the location of the foot, which is shown in the pink color. And this foot plays important role in locomotion, as well as it plays role in burrowing. Muscular structure which is often present in the anterior side. Posteriorly, here you will find the two structures are there which are often portrayed out when animal is active, or where the animal is in natural condition without any fear, without any hesitance. When it is moving naturally, then this foot as well as these siphons, two siphons are there. One is called as external exhalent siphon, and another is called as inhalent siphon. The lower one, which is present, is the inhalent siphon, where the entry of water takes place through this. Water enters into the body, bars again in the mental cavity, and again it leaves the body through this exhalent siphon. The entry and exit of the water in the body is through these two openings called as inhalent and exhalent siphons respectively. Now shell, how it appears internally. Now internally, shell valves are attached to the mantle of the body with anterior muscle and the posterior muscle. Now two sets of muscles are there. Anterior muscles, these are three muscles, that is anterior adductor, anterior retractor, and anterior protractor muscle. And posterior set of muscle, there are two muscles, posterior adductor muscle and posterior retractor muscles. Now how it appears, see, this is a picture. Now the scars, the literal meaning of this scar is the, ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये म्हणतो व्रण, marks. Now this is the shell which the entire internal animal is removed. After removal of the animal, how the shell appears internally, that we are dealing with. As I have mentioned, that anterior set of muscles is there. See, scar of anterior adductor muscle. This is large. This is the scar of posterior adductor muscle. Scar of anterior retractor muscle, and scar of anterior protractor muscle. This is the posterior set of muscle. Scar of, smaller one is a scar of posterior retractor muscles. So this anterior and posterior retractor muscles, they play a role in opening and closing of the shell. So their role is very much important, because when the animal is disturbed, then this it withdraws the foot and the siphons inside the body and closes the shells tightly with the help of these, because the concentration of these muscles and the shell is hold tightly. Okay. Then the word pallial line is mentioned here. Can you see this entire line running, or mark of this line running from the anterior to the posterior end? But it is within the outer margin, just inside the outer margin of the shell. Outer margin of the shell. This is the right shell. We are observing the right shell, but through the internal view. This is the pallial line. This pallial line is the limit of the mental lobes. Mental lobes काय आहे ते आपण आतलं थोडक्यात, the shell is having a internal lining of the muscles which is present आतलं शेलच्या आतमध्ये असलेलं आच्छादन, ज्याला आपण मराठीत म्हणतो, that is called as mental lobe. And the mental lobe is having, or it never extends beyond this pallial line. Hinge teeth, anterior and posterior. See, this is the anterior tooth and this is the posterior tooth. These are present in both, on right as well as on the inside the right and left shell, and these they play role in holding the both these tooth, anterior and posterior, they are interlocked with each other to keep the two shells holding tight. Mental and mental cavity. Mental lobes. Okay. See, this is the diagrammatic structure, and this is the actual when the shell is removed, the left shell is removed, how the animal actually appears internally. First is the mental lobe. We are this rest of the structure are similar that we have studied, but here what visceral hub, immediately after removal of the left shell, what the structures are observed internally, that we are studying under this point. Can you see this? This is the flap, लेफ्ट मेंटल लोब विच इज रेज्ड. जसं आपण पडदा वर करतो तसं हे पडदा वर केलेला आहे लेफ्ट शेलचा. दिस इज लेफ्ट मेंटल लोब विच इज लिफ्टेड अप, and this is called as, this is the area which is called as visceral hump, in which the entire visceral organs are present. Means you will find a part of the gills, stomach, intestine, visceral organs such as the kidney, reproductive organs, all they are enclosed. So, and it forms a bulge, and this bulge is called as visceral hump. Foot, which I have already mentioned, foot is now, it is present inside the body. The location is there like this. Labial palps. See, these are the labial palps which are often compared with the lips of the other animals. These are the two labial palps are present which are surrounding the mouth. And the gills. See, this is the location of the gills. Now, these are the two sets of gills: outer gill lamina and inner gill lamina. Listen to these words carefully. I am using the words outer gill lamina, which is shorter than the inner gill lamina. Ase's same type of gill lamina structures are present on the other side, as we are studying the animal which is bilateral in symmetry. And that is why we have earlier while studying the systematic position, we have come across the word like W-shaped gills. So this lamine, both the laminae, give the appearance to the gills of the W shape. So these are the gills. So you see how this gills actually appears in the body of the animal. This is the diagrammatic, and this is the how the color of this animal available parts. This is the mental lobe, right mental lobe, left mental lobe. These are the scars mentioned. External exhalent siphon, inhalent siphon. Right side, this is the anterior side. This is the posterior side. So this is the what we have studied. How okay, so these are the both shells how they appear. Yeah, this is the right and this is the left shell. Can you see these scars? दिसतोय का व्रण नॅचरल कंडिशन मध्ये मसल्स काढल्यानंतर after removal of this anterior adductor and the posterior adductor muscle. This is the hinge ligament, hinge line, hinge tooth, and you can see this. Okay. So these are the references. Different books are there. Invertebrate Kotpal, Invertebrate by Dhami and Dhami, Invertebrate Zoology by Jordan and Verma. These are the books. You can refer these books. The PDF of these books are also available online. You can also go through these books and learn the topic. Okay, thank you. Can you hello, Nikita? Can you hear me? Hello, Nikita. Hello. नहीं आता हेलो निकिता हेलो निकिता हेलो कैन यू हियर मी हेलो 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 shall I stop हेलो हेलो निकिता